So welcome to another edition of Monday Morning Music. It's been a couple weeks. I had an episode a couple weeks ago ready to go, and I made a mistake on it. I needed to edit it. I made the change, and then I just forgot to post it because that happens sometimes. So I'll share the one today that I was going to share a couple weeks ago. As many of you know, any of you that really know me know that I'm a huge fan of Chicago Cubs. I love the Chicago Cubs. I've been a Cubs fan since the mid-1980s. At that point in time, we had, really two choices to watch baseball. It was either on WGN, excuse me, WGN, or on TBS. So you either had the Cubs or you had the Braves. Well, the Cubs had Ryan Sandberg at this point in time, and I loved watching him play. Something about the way he played second base, I absolutely love. He's made amazing plays, and all-star, Hall of Famer now, just one of the best players in the game. And then we also had this guy named Harry Carey later on, and of course, how can you not enjoy Harry Carey calling a game? I mean, when you get him talking about some lady in the stands doing something, or some guy wearing a sombrero or whatever, like, it's not just the baseball, it was some of his antics were just so funny. But I grew up watching the Chicago Cubs, and I'm just a big Cubs nerd. Like, I will admit that I sat there in the 2003 series watched the World Series, not the World Series, but the playoffs with taking stats and keeping scorebook and everything. So, but I also just love the game of baseball. Like, I will watch just a baseball game because it's on TV. I love baseball. And that brings me to the piece today that I wanted to share with you guys. And that piece is Jack Stamp's Pastime. Written in 1989. Excuse me, not 1989, 1999. I'm thinking, further back than that, 1999. We played it at Murray State, and it was one of the first pieces I got to play with wind ensemble there, and I got to play the Barry part, which was fun because I like playing Barry anyway. But the piece is just a tribute to baseball. Jack Stamp's a big baseball fan. If you follow him on Facebook, you'll see every once in a while he will do go to Minnesota Twins games, or he will do a baseball camp or something like that. And it's just fun to kind of watch. He loves baseball. And so in this piece, it's a tribute to baseball. It takes two themes from the piece, Take Me Out to the Ballgame, and just uses those throughout the piece. So the first one, Take Me Out to the Ballgame, is very obvious. Beep, bop, beep, doo, bop, ba. Little syncopated rendition of the opening theme, Take Me Out to the Ballgame. And then there's also a lot of tributes to the game of baseball itself. The rehearsal numbers match that of important players or milestones in the game. For example, 61, Roger Maris's home runs that beat Babe Ruth's record of 60. So I believe this little fragment of Meet Me in St. Louis, which is kind of a tribute to Mark McGwire. And this is right after the 1998 season where McGwire hits 70 home runs. And so there's a little tribute there. You hear the cracks of the bat. You can hear all sorts of things within the piece, and it just makes it a lot of fun. Of course, like I said, it's baseball, and I just love baseball. It may not be America's game anymore, but I tell you, to me, it's the best game. The strategy, just the way it's played. Do you shift? Do you not shift? How you play this person? How do you pitch this person? Where do you want to go? Like, everything has its own little strategy. Everything has its own little place, and it's just so nice. It's so analytical, and I love that part of the game. So I want to share that with you today. So here's Jack Stamp's Pastime. Of course, there's a couple other pieces we should bring up when it talks about baseball. Anthony O'Toole has a piece called Fanfare to the Hammer, which is for Hank Aaron. Hammer Hank Aaron, who set the home run record all time until Barry Bonds broke it a few years ago. And then Joel Puckett has an opera that just came out, was premiered a couple weeks ago in Minneapolis, called The Fix, which is an operatic depiction of the Black Sox scandal from the World Series back in the early 1900s, Chicago White Sox, and the way they tainted some games. But anyway, so here is Jack Stamp's Pastime.